Here's T-Bone and Heather on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
Lord knows that's enough, but wait, there's more.
Here's Johnny.
Yay! Hey!
Hello, my friend.
It's my favorite time of week again. I love spending this time with you guys.
Hey, we love it with you too. It's a huge week in movies, right? I mean, monstrous
Well,
week.
in entertainment, yes.
Yeah. I mean,
As far as releases, not a major release week.
but the Oscars.
The Oscars are this weekend, yeah. So we just knocked the new releases out of the way. It's really the only major new release is Last Breath, which is Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, who was
the diving thing.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, it's based on a true story, and honestly, I usually, whenever I see that based on a true story, I like to do a little bit of research to see how much it's based on a true story.
Right.
Didn't get a chance to do that for this, but it seems vaguely connected to maybe a true story.
Okay.
But, excuse me, it's about a group of divers that have to go down and save one of their friends.
Okay.
So it's very claustrophobic, very, I don't know, I'm not afraid of the water. I've always loved the water of the beach. I hate stepping on things in the beach.
I have a recurring nightmare of drowning. Yeah.
Okay, so
probably not my cup of tea. I mean, I love Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu from The Five Rings. I love that movie, but I don't know.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's the thing is, it's nothing to write home about. It's fine. It's a perfectly fine Friday night diversion. Or distraction. But it's nothing you're going to be remembering a couple weeks from now. Harrelson seems to be phoning it in a bit. But
no.
But even when he does, he's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, well, he's always great.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson, you can't help but to love. So.
18 feet is the length of my friendship. If you are in trouble from 18 feet to the surface of the water, I will do my best to save you. You're down 20, 25 feet. We're not that good
down there anyway.
What's your point?
What was I doing down there in the first place?
Listen, come on.
Yeah. As a friend to you, I don't expect you to do that.
Exactly.
I would even put it at 10 feet. But yeah, so if you're a huge Woody Harrelson fan, huge Simu Liu fan, then maybe this is the one for you. Or if you just want to go to a movie night, I want to stress it. It's a fine movie. It's just nothing you're going to remember. Nothing.
I gotcha.
It's exactly what you think it is.
You expected to be. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also a sloth story coming out. That's a
sloth story.
Yeah, it's a more limited release. It's an animated film. It's very. Nowadays we have most animated films. When Toy Story came out, it was revolutionary because it was written for the adults and the children.
Right.
And then over time, that became the standard. So you don't see a lot of those just written for children animated movies anymore. And that's what a sloth story is. So it's about a family of sloths that are displaced after a storm destroys their home.
Oh, boy.
And it's actually a lot more fun than that makes it sound.
Okay.
But it's the homeless sloth movie is so fun.
That old trope.
Their search to get to Sanctuary City, they call it. So if the kids want to see something this weekend, but just be aware, you're not going to find too much for the adults in that one.
Okay, gotcha.
So let's talk a little Oscar-ness.
Who is this Oscar guy I keep hearing so much about?
So, so actor in a leading role. It's pretty, so you got Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, a complete unknown. I think this Timothy guy wins this.
Yeah, I mean, so Adrian Brody must have the weirdest career in all of Hollywood because he started with The Pianist in the, mid to early 90s and won an Oscar for that. And he has this thing where he is in an Oscar-winning movie. He wins an Oscar himself for a movie. And then he proceeds to do 6 years of the most crappy film you've ever seen. And he does another
He did that Predator film. Remember he did Predator when they went to the other planet or something?
Right, exactly.
That was pretty bad.
And that was one of the better movies he does. Like, he shows, I don't know if you guys ever noticed when you're going through, Prime Video, like Bruce Willis later in his career would show up in a ton of these direct-to-video.
Oh, well, okay. Well, lest we forget.
Oh, we got to mention this.
Here is exactly what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Clear Cut.
Clear Cut with Alec Baldwin.
Have you seen it?
No. It is unwatchable.
It's unwatchable.
and here's the thing.
It is so bad. I can't.
I'm gonna save you the time. Alec Baldwin is in this movie for about
10 minutes.
10 minutes. He's a logger.
Okay.
So let's start right there.
That's
and then he just has some kind of bad New York / I don't know.
Oregon gun.
These trees will kill you. Okay, don't mess around with them.
Trees.
There's a reason we call them widowmakers. Okay, he's in it for about 8 minutes, and then he is lit on fire.
Right.
And is dead.
Right.
That's amazing.
It's so bad we turned it off. We couldn't watch it anymore. Clear cut. What is it on Paramount?
Oh, I don't know. Clear
or-
cut because
or
they're loggers.
Because they're loggers.
Cut. Yeah.
Peacock, maybe. Peacock.
But he's in that wheelhouse now, where it's like, I got to make some money. I'm going to be in everything you've got out there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what'll blow the mind of the younger listeners out there is that it used to be a world where if you were a movie star, you never did advertisements. You never did. And if you did, you went to Japan to do them,
where they weren't seen in America.
Yes, there are some very funny clips that you can find of people like Christopher Walken or these very high-rate actors that in the 80s and 90s would go over to Japan and shoot a commercial and get paid $1 million to do it.
Oh, I'll have to watch
and
that.
They were okay because it would never get seen over here. And I think that's the thought process with things like what Baldwin's doing now and Willis did before. John Malkovich is another one that shows up in 10,000 things.
He does, yes.
That there's
he
just
does.
so many movies out, nobody's going to see them.
Did you see The Last Showgirl with
I did not with Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson?
Yeah.
I'm curious about that because she's getting rave reviews about that.
I saw
movie.
enough of it in clips, and because they'll send us screeners, but they'll also send press packages that essentially it's like the Cliff's Notes of the movie. And you can catch the best parts of the. And I was impressed, but I was impressed for Pamela Anderson. Like she's not putting Meryl Streep numbers up.
Yeah, right.
She's definitely she has acting chops she hasn't shown us before.
Let's cut to the chase. Best picture of the year.
Timothy Chalamet is most likely taking that one.
Okay.
For actor in a leading role, sorry. So best picture, you said?
Mm-hmm. So you got a Nora, which I haven't seen. The Brutalist.
I haven't seen a bunch of them.
I haven't seen a bunch of them. I haven't seen The Brutalist, but that looks interesting. A Complete Unknown. I don't know. Conclave, Dune, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here. Nickel Boys, no reference to that. The Substance, that's a Demi Moore thing.
Right,
and of course,
Wicked.
Wicked. What's your pick on that?
We've missed the entire point with Best Picture. If you guys remember, they moved it to 10 movies. So
I was going to say
include
how many
popular movies.
Right,
and they haven't done that. But
well, Wicked was a popular movie.
yeah, so Wicked and Dune Part 2 are the two inclusions there. And I think as far as what is a good complete technical masterpiece of a movie, Dune Part 2 should win. It's not going to. It's never going to. I think there was a lot of buzz for Emilia Perez, but there was some behind-the-scenes
Controversy,
stuff that kind of took that down.
Yep.
So it's, I think the favorite is probably Wicked or A Complete Unknown, which is the Timothy Chalamet, Bob Dylan movie.
And I got to tell you, too,
oh, that's what that is. Oh.
the animated feature film, I watched The Wild Robot, and I loved it.
Oh,
I
good.
am rooting for The Wild Robot
Yeah.
because that was such a good movie.
Yeah, it really was. But I think Wicked or A Complete Unknown are most likely. But I think The Brutalist is always simmering just below the surface. That could be your surprise win. A lot of that's an Adrian Brody movie. So that's what I would look for in that one.
Well,
Okay.
if the Chalamet wins for the Best Actor, and then A Complete Unknown wins Best Picture, that's going to be a big night for him. So he'll be the biggest star in the world, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what's screwed up is Ralph Fiennes was excellent in Conclave.
He was
And there's-
so good.
So good in Conclave.
There's a story that came out, and this shows how I should probably not put them down since we're talking about them now, but this shows how BS the Oscars are. There's a story that came out that a number of Oscar voters were saying that, oh, well, I didn't vote for Fiennes because he had won before for Schindler's List.
That has nothing to do with it.
It doesn't have anything to do with it, and also they're mistaken. He did not win for Schindler's List.
Oh my gosh, really?
So he hasn't won before. Like, you can win.
That's one of those Mandela things.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
but
no.
he didn't win for Schindler's List, and it doesn't matter in the first place.
That's like saying you go out and you run the 100 meters and you break the tape, but they go, no, we're not going to give it to you because you've already won.
Yeah.
Sorry, Usain Bolt, you've already won a whole bunch of races.
It just shows the thought process behind this whole award show. It is not a cut and dry quality of film situation. It's what's the buzziest word right now? What's everybody talking about? What's the social justice topic of the moment? All these kind of things.
All right.
That's too bad.
Right.
Hey, remember, too, if you want to check out the Oscars, you can do it at the RC Theaters. They have tickets absolutely free.
It is cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Tickets are free. VIP tickets, you do have to pay for those, but that includes a glass of champagne, a charcuterie box.
Nice.
It's going to be in the RC Theater. Red carpet at 6:30. The awards start at 7. That's the RC Theater. Get your free tickets today by going to their website.